insemono Oro superstores nigebwate ebintu byo tumeka nyomba bunabono obosibwe kitabati bwe brand au eskari amabuta y'ekingeni obosibwe korugera kisabuni amabere nebintu binde evinge boigonko ne bale ebintu byo kwagakira bunabono amabati y'eki brand au buna MRM na dumu amabati y'ekikala au ayo akwa ase e warranty emyaka 5 nebere goika emyaka 15 na boigonko ne bale esimiti ko ne bale deformed bars chitanki cha mache chichi size au emesumari crown paints nebinde evinge Oro superstores boigonko rentra bale amoyo obotumeka asomogondo ayore DAP urea CAN boigo chimbusuro cha Kenya Seed boigon konya bale
aye nsibere binte bibwangu bangororaje mongino na byakanyete para nana na bako chenje gari baide koy aye ayere ko churu superstore igaika nori chiburi agorire ayo muntu uri obwate biasara baide koy nabono kamati yano imote byatege bintu byegyosi kinobirega bionde bichungu nzima aya yerego churu superstore nanderi bori
asa mange batare aseduka yabo imemo chobo songo ase amagacho a Oru complex angende roundabout nyagitari ya General gose KTRH barabare nebengi ya Credit Bank gose obakere simi goitrase number 0111161 na boigo na bokubarikira email otomase info@orusuperstores.com gose customer care@orusuperstores.com boigona bogotara website yabo ya www.orusuperstores.com. Oru Superstores, guaranteed quality product at the lowest prices.
Eye Nkisi TV amandegere y'umugusi.
Mwanchumo ligererio Kisi TV ogenderete kubwatio morobere bwenyoni mambi ya lero ensemone ya gatatu nende yo mweri abasomagenyo na beriga kunyara gwikira nasi studio tuwasaba kwa berase okunyara kunyoro kidogo nesenyo chechi sababu chitalenge kunyara gutangeka korende heri nusu ya shari kuliko shari mzima. Asante sana so kunyara kwene kibuna kwa bere okunyara gwikira nasi studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Kurtua rocha niteme tenyara achire. Karibu sana. I remember it was on holiday, I remember.
This year or last year?
Do you even know?
It was last year.
Last year? No, this year.
Was this year?
This year, early this year. Yeah, karibu sana se studio. I'm so happy to see you. Na mbona unaendelea ku glow? Kwani sisi ndo tunafaa tuwe tuna ni mambo ya God. Alright, mukwadi mugusimo tevi na kiokoro kwa na sekwaru.
Mbiyamana sana anyoni TV.
Nkisi TV, yeah.
Mbiyamana sinyasaya gotwali tukolia rero asa mageta nkoroko ni Kerubo Marwa special elect Kerubo National Congress in the county assembly ya Nyamira.
All right. Na bantu bali muamwire nga ni marathon county ya Nyamira. Mimi sai bado am advocating for my marathon that is going on. Unasikianga hizi Paris marathon, sijui Olympics, sijui nini, sasa kuna enyo ni marathon. Yenye tuko tuna 4x400 meters relay. Line 1 pale ni Kisi County wameshika kijiti namna hii. Line 2 ni watu wa Nyamira County. Pia wao wako wanaenda vizuri so far. Alafu kuna Kericho County line 3. Alafu ile ya mwisho pale line 4 watu wa Meru.
Na nani umeisahau? Nandi County umeisahau.
Wacha kwanza line yangu ni 4x400. So
Nandi County hata yao ilikuwa walienda Sindai the other day. Homa Bay County wali impeach speaker li resign. Those are issues governing all over the country. Here and there.
Na sasa nitakuja kutengeneza timu ya pili. Yenye teka uno wasingishu na Transizoia. Pia wao wako na issue zao, lakini kwa sasa hii team 1 hiyo ni Kisi County, Nyamira, Kericho na Meru. Hiyo you are doing a good job so far in the country.
I like the name you've given it, marathon.
Hiyo marathon sasa ndo nataka tuone nani atashinda. But thank you so much for coming. We're about to have a conversation this morning and nemo negorihiri biraria kisiasa ya bere county ya Nyamira. I want us to start first na hii report ambayo ilikuwa jana after the court case that was going on. This guy here Akurukujoja Abuga, majority leader. You'll tell me about the same if he's the majority leader Nabel, the majority leader. We are going to have this conversation. But for now, let us listen to this conversation. Tomenyenga mbara barengira se ujumbe yega.
Mheshimiwa ito Thaddeus Nyambaro, ule acting speaker e county assembly ya Nyamira, igoro na get involved as a accident. Na ndemo maete erisonia ya men nene mono yagerete kuno any accident ye kaba ne libuna an acting speaker abwende kutwara an official car egari ebwate driver na security ono koru to impeach Okero angererete egari yobisi yobo speaker, and because of that Nyambaro got himself in a very small car driving himself and he was involved in an accident. Igari konge igoro lakini to waka nyasana mbia mono ekiagera as we talk now is safe, is very much safe. Amanyageta ali mamu shugirete ku Rugoro aiga Nyamira rifaro na agendete ko Bwena and in the very few days he will be out. Asante. On that strength I want to request my fellow leaders, starting with the governor of our county, that he should recognize the current established leadership from the acting speaker and to the rest, so that our county can move forward very fast. Two, the assembly is facing challenges because of the court cases that we have been having. There has been challenges in funding the assembly. Our employees have not been paid salary because of the court cases. Our employees are not able to come to work because they do not have what we call O&M that facilitates them to come to work. I want to request Governor Nyaribo to release those funds so that you can be able to do what we are supposed to do. More important, we do not have medical cover because of a request that is still at the table of the executive because of these court cases. I'm now requesting His Excellency the Governor to release those funds so that we can cover our staff. To my fellow leaders, the members of the County Assembly, those who are still following the impeached Speaker Okero, I want to request them to come back to work. We as 34 members, we need one another. Let them come back and we work as a team.
The majority leader Nyamira County Assembly, true or false?
False. False. With confidence. False. The reason as to why we are having problems in Nyamira is because of that position of the majority leader. That's how the problem that we're facing started. Because on the very day that the fight started at Nyamira, which we are calling marathon, they were aware of what was going to be tabled in the House. Because of a court ruling whereby it had ruled that the majority party is UPA. And they were not ready to relinquish that position to UPA. So once they were aware that the ruling, the speaker was supposed to obey the court ruling, I remember very well with clarity that they stood, immediately entered into the assembly with a point of order, even before the speaker had started the session in the right procedure. So they stood up by saying, point of order, if you can get that clear, point of order, just to stop the speaker from declaring the court ruling of which party should be holding the positions of leadership from the majority side in the county assembly.
Now, ndete kuna chasi nini? Omo governor we county ya Nyamira, an impeachment motion ya Bekiru yoko murusia bisi. Ekero muswado yigobeku egatebekana n'abantu babegete kisei cyo kunyara ko murusia mu MC omo governor echialenga around 32 and are 34 leaders right now, both elected and nominated. Were you among the 32?
Yes, I was among the 32.
Bali babegete sei yokurusia bisi omo governor.
You see, there's a procedure for removing a governor from office. And the signature that determines whether you are removing the governor from, you are impeaching the governor or not, is the one that you sign before the clerk.
Well,
so the first one is neither here nor there. No one can pin you down with it. And actually the procedure, the final one ni when you ekerore assembly or wake kura yao. Nere the most important one.
Okay.
Nere go determine no tegete governor agenda or so tegete agenda. No tegete waziri agenda or so tegete waziri agenda. If winda bias ni sarakasi was a procedure, you can make sure your procedure you wati for impeachment of any, be it a waziri, be it a governor, be it the speaker.
Haya, omusodo yuki kubosibwe assembly. Voting ya chakire. Ega chance 22
voted.
Yes.
And 12 voted.
No. But bono ekabara bished out because the 2/3 nini rule haiko imefika. He needed around 23 so that ipite. Nkikia gerezo gachinchi birengereryo ekeriye gitenga no gwake kura Maria Sebunge if you among bali babegete seya batangani.
My dear, let me say this. First, I correct. Our house has 35 seats.
But one is late.
Whether it is late, remember the Kericha ruling, it is supposed to be 1/3 or 2/3 of the 35 seats. Right? And the reason why it is so, because someone can decide to hijack you on the voting date. So the vote must be there.
Okay.
Whether yes or no, it has to be there. Because even the person who was absent was voted by proxy.
Yeah.
So the right 1/3 should be 27. 2/3 should be 27. Calculate 2/3 of 35 is. 2/3 of 35 is, I think it should be 26.5. And for humanity, we don't say.
You don't round off.
Don't round off. So times 2. Okay.
Roughly.
Sorry, it should be 24.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nera ganeti 24, lakini akanyora 22.
No, akanyora 22. So they didn't qualify to impeach the governor.
Okay. Ekereba banyoranga they are not meeting their expectations, let me say, because around that time na pressure ya chakire, I think there is a certain tension ikora chaka ko created from somewhere ya tumika go impeach nyaribo. Last time it was about amariyo gokoro which box. This time it was about kusaboro bagone chikoni and a laundry. That is where I think ilikuwa kama line ya kutumia kwa wananchi kuimpeach governor. And I'm not saying that hiyo ilikuwa part of the makosa yenye alikuwa amekewa. But again, when you are trying to look at mswada ikireri ya kabere as a assembly, again wanting to impeach the governor. Magosa kia yaiga uratebenga these were the grounds to impeach mo governor chikagera yoga ikagari yoga ikugachenchwa mind kamwanga I let it be a no for now, wacha tungangane kama watu wa Nyamira.
Mostly when the impeachment ever chaka kwa Nyareba wacha wagata would like to impeach. So you'd like to see the reasons as to why they are impeaching. Maybe the first one you can, according to the word of mouth, you may be thinking that this is the reason as to why they are impeaching. But when it comes to now, we are going to debate. You need to know why are they impeaching the governor.
Yes.
When I looked at the reasons, I can relate it to sababu chidibate the way impeaching the governor. Nkanyara it is just personal vendetta, and people from outside wabate interest to make sure mnabarusi rinyaribo kerogo banyare go chago campaign 2027 kerogo kyo governor. Bamusare rieta bamakore rekende. Otherwise magosa tayo baratenda nyaribo nanya wate because onya na magosa ya audit issues na mangana ya betenga ya the late Nyagara mapole to say. And before even I go very far, na Judge Mheshimiwa George Abuga Okwana, I would like to send my apology, to our deputy speaker. He's not an acting speaker, he's a deputy speaker. Pole sana asakonyare accident. We are really sorry, we are praying for you, and it is our desire that you get well and continue with serving the mwananchi. Pole sana. It is from, as women, we always feel it.
Yeah.
The moment we had it, I know to get it. So we say pole sana. Though even me, I was feeling unwell, and I'm just like I told you, I'm here because I've really been postponing these things. Yeah.
So
let me go back to your to your question. So when they brought the real issues as to why they want to impeach the governor, they were neither here nor there. Sababu ichicharinge kwa amount to impeachment. Egunege the motoma watch is Senate na ndeta itaba impeached.
Now, oyo ekotebekana buna oyo ringe the move of the motion. It was the majority leader. But ekeka last minute nenera akabega tia bali babet bakunyara go back out. Is it true?
In politics, that is why we say siyasamama shamaba. In politics, people can come with word of mouth like Nataba. Even him, probably, it is that word of, see, you said 32 signed.
Yeah.
So it is that word of mouth. But when you look at the, this impeaching somebody is somebody's life. You are destroying somebody's life.
Yeah.
So you cannot do what is not right. You cannot give false witness. So when we look at the reasons as to why they were impeaching, because the first signatures, we are never given the reasons, which are written. We are just told by word of mouth. But when you get now the paper, the reasons as to why they are impeaching this.
Are they, what they are saying and what they are writing, maybe
they don't amount to impeachment.
Okay.
Those are things that sometimes we can sit and agree and find a solution to such a problem or so and so. Because if I cannot tell you this is the reason why they were impeaching him, then that means there was no reason.
Okay.
It was just ni siasa. Wanataka tu kumtoa, ndio watu wenye wako na interest ya kukuwa governor 2027, they create space for themselves come 2027. So politics in Nyamira is not just even about the MCAs. External forces are high.
The issue again rose up. Which issue am I talking about? Nominated MCAs are not supposed to vote. Nyamira has a number of MCAs more than it is supposed to be in the rule of law. Nyamira nominated MCAs ndo wanatuangusha wao, ndo wanahongwa, wanaingia pale. Nyamira nominated MCAs, they are the ones who are close to the governor, especially the women. Nyamira nominated, the conversation now started, nominated MCA, with all the flaws in the fact that they weren't elected but they were nominated.
Let me ask you, Joan, are you happy that when women are in the leadership of the county, are you happy that we have women in the leadership of the county? Now, let me explain just a bit. Yes. I'll mix. In leadership. Now, in leadership. The kind of leadership we get is balanced. In that, we have the contribution into the voicing, women voicing their part, and the men voicing their part. There is a way a woman, ekra beire morito.
Yes.
No, so that's the uniqueness of a woman. The uniqueness of a woman is to bring peace. The uniqueness of a woman is to bring stability. The uniqueness of a woman is to bring out. There is a way women we were created. We are able to balance issues and make a life for everyone easy and comfortable to live. So the uniqueness of a woman is what we are bringing on board as into the leadership of any place where we are found.
Yeah.
See where women are leading. Their performance is great. They commit themselves. They come back to reason. So I like the way the father to Hulda said it at Nyamira.
Yes.
That a woman is more reasonable. And it is very true. We are more reasonable. We sit down to think, hey, this is politics. But sit down and think now. That is why you find the first signature, like in the second one, what wanakata. Why? Because, or the final motion in the floor, we find things have changed because we sit down and think, oh no, mwana mondo. Or you wanted to also what no takaga, just like they were saying they want to impeach the speaker. You are employed here, you are here at KCTV. Would you want to be jobless? Would you want to be rendered without a job? Everybody is trying to ensure that whatever. So a woman will sit back and say, hey, what? So what next? We carry the baby. So it figures a point. Whether the person has hurt you 100 times. So that is the uniqueness of a woman. We try to bring balance and peace. And we try to avoid animosity at all costs. So that is the place of a woman. So nominees then why were we coming up with the two-third gender rule?
Bahote bange nambe ere gwetani ere takire ko but want to make number iya barenga batakire ko according to the constitution.
So it is the two-third gender rule, so it should be a third of 20. And again, there are so many, I think they're looking at it from one angle. It can be the third of 20, and it is also, there are so many other things that we look at for the nominations to take place. Because, for example, if we have the a third of it should be around 7, isn't it? But now you find that the other Nyamira does not have any elected woman as an MCA. That is number one. Nyamira has several political parties. Which how are you going to balance between so we have to, and again, when you get to the assembly, how will you divide this? Every committee must have the issue of a third. Will you not circulating one person in those committees? Because assuming there are 7, we have 11 committees, and there is a standing order that every person should have a minimum of 3 committees. So there's so many things, dynamics, that make the IBC to come up with the number. Actually, this time round, we are 15 nominated, right? We are 15 nominated, whereby 3 are men and 12 are women. Now, in this nomination list, there is special, gender. There are those that are, there are several classes of nominating people into the assembly. And those classes, one has to consider, they usually consider all of them. There are those who come as PWDs. There are those who should be coming in as PWDs. Nyamira, somebody must have played around, especially in ODM. There was a PWD who was supposed to come in, but they played around, So we usually find that nominations, the dynamics is just not a third. The dynamics are beyond just a third, also looking into a third playing in when it comes to committee formations. So they have to look at these committee formations. Imagine if it was 7 only. I've told you there are several committees at the assembly. These 7 will be everywhere. Will that be fair? They'll be everywhere. They'll be holding more than 3 committees that we're supposed to be holding. Yes.
Well, baada ya ekikunyara kukolekana, the impeachment was done and dusted. The governor remains in office. Of course, blame game left, right, and center. But now, etimwejega where they feel like the governor should be out of office. Bamwirenga speaker, kwanza bamwirenga majority leader ne rosu kumeto muswada oyo omaya go back out. So the first thing we are going to do, no korosio majority leader. And that is when I remember one of them amounted now to muswada governor na indabisi for the 3rd time. Nalirio everything about Rusiri Abel majority leader bakabeka George Abuga. Did they use the needed or the procedure, the constitution to make a and where did it get to the courts now deciding to bring back again Abel?
There was a case that had been lodged, and I started by saying the Upper Party won, that they're the ones who should be holding. Now I went to court majority leader and majority whip. So when the case was ruled, that means Speaker had to honor the court rulings. Otherwise, failure to honor the court rulings would lead to contempt of court. So, actually, even right now, ODM is not supposed to be holding the position of the majority leader. It's actually a content in itself.
Okay.
Because even after Abel went back to court again to challenge the position, he still won that he's the one who should be the majority. To be honest, there was a ruling that was made on recently, not long. And the majority leader still has another content in the Nairobi High Court. So you can see yesterday they pleaded with the courts that they are sorry, they will never repeat.
Okay.
When I plead, I'm sorry, that means you are actually wrong. So the actions, governor went to correct number 22 I released Chivesa. That George Abuga, currently as we are speaking, the assembly with the education that I don't understand. Abe clerk, Abe speaker. Nere kirigendo.
Onyarita nere clerk.
Nere okora kirigendo. Assembly. Nere gotolikire meshara mnabona abantu bali bagavana kira gotana uwande mwe released. Umashara ne koruba ireboga koruba chaka okore binte byabo. Abantu aba 22, some of us are getting negative balances against the HR rules. In Chirale konyara one last month you limit nyole kanyara 7 limit kabekero 5. Padiem chiritwa yetu choza chokwenda Bungoma wakaibekira 10 days. Exactly yarete 7 days. Wakaibekira 10 days it wagatobekira 2 days abantu bagavana. So when you want to come in to bring in different leadership, shouldn't we be seeing something different? Justice. What we are seeing from the leadership of these 22 is totally, you wonder if they were given, they would be worse than any other leadership we've ever seen. When you are saying, you are bad, why then can't you come in and do something that is better?
There is one thing I want to know. Crossing kwana ya uwa tebiri ntu abantu ba governor. Chiti mwirenga chiri Nyamira.
There are two teams.
Ya nani na nani?
See, the team, they are calling him the acting speaker and they want to force it down the throat to it. You are seeing, he's saying that we should come back and work with them. Work with them when they are not even trying to balance things. How can you work with someone who has denied you your salary, who has denied you your per diems, who doesn't want to recognize you? Excuse me, he doesn't go that way.
Wow. Na eno kokere ronse mekiale, akona nyinyi. Ndo mko saidia governor.
A speaker should be treating everybody equally. Speaker, when he was in charge of everything, let them give an evidence that he mistreated any of them. They were in committees like they're supposed to be. They were chairs like they're supposed to get. They were getting their per diems like they're supposed to get. He never showed partiality like they're trying to show partiality. Here, recently, I heard even the staffs are complaining. Why staff are speaker when we are taking speaker to the assembly. They are not even giving them their per diems. It's society. They are really frustrating so many people. Which kind of leadership? It's I'm disappointed.
Aya, ekot ya ruro chikanga omu majority leader aira nigo. And that day I remember nari speaker Okero achete achosomanga according to the ruling the majority leader still stands to be Abel. Nari richibura buru chichete ngarama achaka korumbere rigumari kurwana kogaswagali and they kicked him out of the assembly. Ekere bamorusi baka bintu byachire left right and center. Later an impeachment motion was filed and 28 they voted on impeachment of the speaker. What are the grounds?
No, 28 no. The impeachment of the speaker is null and void as per the ruling of yesterday. When you plead apology, that means all you have been doing, you are sorry. When you are sorry, it means you never did the right thing.
So the speaker is not impeached as well?
The speaker is not impeached because what was the contempt of court? The contempt was that the speaker had been given stay orders, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And they contempted. They did not honor. Mbagwachitiko wate machika yu abegetuna speaker nere speaker. Witocha kiragabo. So ekere judge ananete stay orders. Che speaker wakagenda kenyuma wagachigo impeach suspend waga impeach. Then yesterday we saw them pleading, crying that ntokwe irolera ekero umuntu agosirago tabirita kwerura inkeminete baba nonya Joan
ngona maite kikonya gukora na magoso.
Yes, ekero gatatokwerura. What does it mean? Ogwento gotigo umuntu ndibona in our case ogwento gotiga speaker agenda obisi akore yasiae mbakwirorera renda gukana muna coach yana na stay orders. A judge got to make it very clear here she has not vacated any orders. So there were no orders that were vacated. So the order of the speaker being in office are still live. And we should stand with that fact. So most of these 22, what they do, they misinterpret things. With them, their lawyer was saying that it was a mere, it was an error. They misinterpret things to favor their thinking, not to favor justice and fairness. So I have done this speech resolution. If you are to ask me what we should do, is a team we are 22, a team we are 12, we give solutions which we can be able to work with. I can tell you we're going to lazimisha down into our thoughts at come we work together when they are oppressing us, when they are when they are very, and I gotta tell you, these 12, if you look at our salaries, the decline, for whichever reason we don't know, is very sharp. Does it mean we're being given salaries that were not justified before? What makes someone to go get a negative salary? So what you're trying to say, we should sit down all of us, bring a solution on board. You know, in Kenya we have 3 powers: executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. If we respect the arms of power in our country, these problems will not be there. We have disorder because of disrespect of the various arms of power in Kenya.
I've had a team from the 22 and according to them, the majority leader is George Abuga. The speaker is Thaddeus Nyabaro, acting speaker, that is Thaddeus Nyabaro. The clerk...
I intercept you. Look anywhere in the constitution or in our standing order, there is no position of an acting speaker. There is no position of an acting speaker.
When there is no speaker, the deputy speaker steps in
as a deputy speaker, not an acting speaker. He is not. There is no position of an acting speaker.
Now that speaker hajakuwa, si deputy ndiye amekuwa.
He is like, right. Use the word deputy, but acting is not there, and it is not supposed to be there under the constitution.
All right, deputy speaker Thaddeus Nyabaro, and the clerk Duke Onyari.
Now, let me ask you.
Let us start from your end. Who's the majority leader?
The majority leader is Abel.
Who's the...
As per the law, in the eyes of law, the majority leader is Abel.
Who's the speaker?
In the eyes of law, the speaker is Honorable Speaker Enoch.
Okay. Who's the clerk?
The clerk is the one that the legitimate board appointed. Clerk Onyari,
that is Nyamira.
Wait a minute. His term ended on 4th of October.
Onyari go say
Onyari's term ended at 4th.
We also had Orina.
Wait, Orina had been suspended.
Okay.
Now we came in with Onyari. Onyari, when he came in, he had been given a period of that period of what do we call it? Before you are confirmed, the name is disappearing. So during this period is when you are assessed. You bring in your papers. You bring in. When the board requested for his academic credentials,
yes,
he said the academic credentials are not there. There were no academic credentials to be presented before the board. When the board decided that if someone cannot present us his academic credentials, then how are we going to work together with him? They decided to have a different clerk who could produce academic credentials. Then that is how we end up with Nyamira. How can you work with someone who has no academic credentials? Nyanyari has no academic. Even the way he has done his work, it clearly shows that there is something amiss somewhere. You know, these are the facts that people are not told.
So, if vita ambayo iko Nyamira, make me understand. Is vita, who are they directed to? The 12 of you, the speaker, or the governor?
The governor. The end is the governor to impeach. Just the major problem here, if you ask us, Inki speaker Magosa ki speaker what?
No,
let them tell us that we are impeaching speaker because of he has done one, he has stolen money, he has
anafanya impeach governor.
He has is that a constitutional reason?
I saw corrupt claims.
Which corrupt claims? Let them prove that they are. Who is more corrupt? I asked you a question, who is more corrupt? Is it these 22 the way they are doing stuff? How can you go, there are HR rules. How can you give somebody a negative salary? And you're not recovering anything to get that negative salary. Excuse me.
So, these 22, are they being driven by someone to do the same? Because you said, Pia, this is about the 2027 politics.
Yeah,
is there someone you are doubting?
Not I'm doubting.
Okay.
We are aware
Who?
that we have 3 MPs
Okay.
who are behind all this, because we have even clips of evidence of people communicating with our county nominated staffs on how the day we have can I play you the clip?
Okay, sure.
Maybe let me rescue his face.
Arama?
You know, we say women.
Arama?
No,
Nakuru?
Arama is not even in the pictures.
Josh Nyamoko?
I don't want to mention names. Why should we mention names?
Because we want to know. The root cause, because now it seems marathon we can't win this way. We can't win this way.
I told the women we are different from men. I don't do the politics of men. So they know themselves. Let them stop. That's what I will only tell them. Stop it. We need peace, because simba wawili wakipigana, nini naumia? Ni wananchi. We need peace. Development. And I like our governor. Despite all this, he's fighting with one arm and working with the other arm. Thanks be to Nyaribo and his wisdom. Because we brought in the tractors the other day for the roads. These same equipments that were delivered to Nyamira County, the 22 had written a letter to the executives requesting that those machines should not be bought. Now here, they are very happy and running very fast, demanding for these equipments to be used in their wards to make the roads. While they had told, they were saying that, but because the speaker had given instructions that any communication from this illegitimate, not in Kenya we have legitimacy, any illegitimate directive being given should not be honored, because anything that is illegitimate is null and void, it is not binding. Are we right? So whatever the 22 are doing is not binding in the eyes of law. Get it right.
So what are the main grievances zenye unasikianga wanasema against the sitting governor? These 3 MPs who are inciting the 22 MCAs. What are the main grievances zenye wana raise wanasema hii ndo maana tunataka kutoa governor?
Kenyans love corrupt people.
All right.
They want someone who will be dishing out money like the late Nyagara. And they're not getting it from His Excellency.
So kuna story ya Nyaribo kujilipa 6 million.
Didn't he return that money? And he was justified anyway, because it was his money. It's only that whatever maybe the procedure must be followed. Let me ask you, Kenyans want someone who can dish out money to them, whether you are working or not working. I be the governor tomorrow and I can just call you every week, I give you 200,000 and I don't make the roads, I will be the best governor for Kenya. Is that the Kenya we want? We need to sit down and think as Kenyans.
For the longest time, unajua, I'm born Nyamira, I'm raised in Nyamira, and I'm a proud Nyamira, and I always say that. Like nekiribisa ambete ngorate banka besire Kisi County. Nekiribisa ambete Nyamira, because amba Kisi County na Nyamira tunapatanga zikwali at the same time.
The 22 are operating on lies. The 22 are operating illegitimately. The 22 are operating because even the impeachment, let me tell you, if we have seen to impeach the speaker, to impeach the governor, we need 24. They had 23. Still, they did not meet the threshold of impeaching the speaker. And they are saying 23. One vote was stolen, and even the one that they stole wrote an affidavit saying that he did not vote in favor of the impeachment of the speaker. That affidavit is present, it is there. But because the case is in court, I don't want to talk more. So they did not even justly, legitimately impeach the speaker. And we have said everything they are doing is not binding, because yesterday, the other day, they were sorry for not obeying the court orders. So when you are not obeying the court orders, whatever you are doing is not binding. So whatever they are doing in the eyes of law is not binding.
Now, umete abantu tubiri Nyamira ntasomete sana. Nenda abantu bange Nyamira mbasomete. But the investment Nyamira is very behind. Kwa hiyo Oranga naonyesha sio mitandao. No, let me tell you.
No, investment in Nyamira, let me ask you.
Abantu abange invest in Kisii County.
Oh, you're talking about investing in Nyamira, but recently we had Dunstan putting up the Nyamira Heights with the first building with the lift. In Kisii it has been Kisii, remember that Nyamira has devolved from Kisii.
Okay.
And Kisii County is favored by the virtue that it looks like a center. There's even a time that Kisumu, the most developed city or town in Nyanza region. Look, the number of banks we have in Kisii town. Look at the number of banks. You will find that KCB has 2 branches. I saw Family Bank there that they're having 2 branches. Equity has 2 branches. What does that tell you? The money circulating in Kisii town is very high. And it is not just only within Kisii town. Money coming from America. There was a research that was done that money being sent to Kenya from America, again in Kisii, that is where it comes. So Kisii has money circulating. It is evidenced by the number of banks you see in Kisii County. In Kisii town.
Mimi tuna sijui mtu wa America jameni. You people. You American people. My phone number is working.
But the virtue that Nyamira is a devolved county, it is growing slowly by slowly. Don't expect things to happen within, as a twinkle of an eye. Devolution has come. We are seeing our roads. Ekero Nyamira etarenge county. To bata chipara chiricharenge magagari. Charengo. Nowadays yoko gana Nyamira magagari chipara chibata lami. Oete magaga tuwata chipara chilami. Oete starengo. You agree with me? But people don't want to talk about that. Ndobata wano ga level 4. Ndobata nyagitali dia chirema gwageri chibalimu. Why are you laughing? Mental issues. Let me tell you, some people are suffering from mental issues.
I just heard a story this morning where Oma Konde Sungetene Sati.
Yeah, so many people are facing mental issues. Higher. The drone that delivers medicine into the various, which people don't want to appreciate. When you look at development, Nyaribo has done, is a development conscious leader. But it's so sad that our people, they want Umonto Kwana Neve.
So you don't believe that the governors failed in delivering?
Why do you tell me the reason why you think the governors failed?
Because
some substantive reason as to
because
I can count. We have 51 students who are being sponsored for education from Form 1. Now currently we have Form 1 to Form 3. And come next year, they shall be now from up to Form 4. Now we have, those are things that the governor is doing. We are introducing free feeding programs to school. That was a deal that was already done and it is starting in January. Tell us how this government is not working. The other day you saw, we were able to, have Dr. Olaf, the head of in Berlin, the head of UNIDO, coming to the industrial park so that we can see. As while those ones are fighting and trying to make the governor look bad, there are those people who are interested in seeing that we deliver for the people. Because we have to put aside our fights and see what our people need. That is what the 12 have decided, that it
is all right, huh? Whatever that is happening in May County, Nyamira, you people can know, you know, from this side and the other side. But you know, for how long is mwananchi o kawaida we County Nyamira going to cry?
I have just told you, let them continue fighting. Let us continue delivering for the people. While they are still fighting, haven't the trucks, machines come? While they are still fighting, didn't we bring an investor to the Sirunga Park?
Oh,
as this team, these are the 12, as we're still working, let them tell us what they are doing while they are fighting. We are impeach this speaker. Impeach speaker. Impeach governor. They will go nowhere with those impeachments, because at the end of the day, the process has to go. If God is the one who rules and reigns in the world, like the Bible says that He rules and reigns the kingdoms of men, and promotion comes from the Lord. The 12 who are standing with the governor, We are standing with the governor, we are standing with the national government because of Romans chapter 13, which clearly says, if you can allow me when I can read it, which clearly says that Siko Ogambi Wolinya Sa avec Akram of talent into power. By trying to fight Ogambi Wolinya Sa into power, you are being selfish. You do not want to let people enjoy the benefits of the leaders that are there. Because no man to gas. So akora gasi na libara jara kumo ama libara jara kumwanga. Lakini at the end of the day, people will see what he is doing. At the end of the day, people will recognize what he is doing and the many lives he has touched. So tewanga record one. But tewanga one, let Nyaribo deliver for the people.
Ile yenye mulikuwa mnaenda bunge mashinani, mwaweke ile mess yenye mulikuwa nayo na ile uniform.
It was a mess.
Na ile yenye kwa assembly
that is that Taita Taveta, and you will see. A mess, it was a mess. That was a mess. We have, the speaker said very well, we have 2 messes. That is what they didn't know.
But it is supposed to be one.
Who told you? What is wrong with having a mess? What is wrong with having, my dear friend, even in the house, you will never have one cup, isn't it? You must have something that, in case of anything.
So ile mkienda kuchukua, kulikuwa na vita that speaker ameenda kuchukua mess and ikafichwa. Sasa hii ilitoka wapi?
Because the clerk didn't operate, not the clerk, the sergeant at arms. Actually, that very day, the sergeant at arms, what he should have done, immediately he realized that there was raffles in the assembly and got a mess. But because it was a planned thing, he decided to favor the 22.
Sasa hii mess ngine ilitoka wapi? Mulinunua?
Nilikwambia tuna mess mbili kwa assembly. Na sio lazima tutoboe siri za serikali.
So hata ile uniform haikushonwa nini?
Uniforms ziko. What is wrong with having a uniform, my dear?
Na ile sasa kuenda kwa kanyumba hivi kutandika vitambaa.
Kwa nyumba, that was Manga Stadium. That was a taste of the people of Manga Stadium. You know, bunge mashinani is supposed to allow mwananchi to play a role in how we legislate. Bunge mashinani
nimekuja after the speakers were impeached.
Bunge mashinani was there even the first one to advertise. We followed the order of advertising bunge mashinani. Let me show you. Bunge mashinani, the first time it was at Nyamira. Let me show you this. Then you can understand. No, nyinyi nimewambia mnapatana na watu.
No, make me understand. That is what I'm asking. Unataka bodi kwa bodi nayo mwananchi wa kawaida because naona tutamanyiki.
Hawawaambia ukweli ya kwamba bunge mashinani was first advertised was procedurally advertised in 2015. What is this? So that was bunge mashinani at Nyamira.
County Assembly of Nyamira, bunge mashinani, 5th November 2015.
Which year is that?
Venue Nyamira Market, time 12 p.m.
So if you look at the constitution, the procedure is you advertise bunge mashinani, which was already done. Does it make it stale? Was that advertisement stale? No, it wasn't.
No. Towards the case hearing ya speaker yenye ilikuwa inasikizwa jana, ndo usiku huo tulisikia that Nyavara has been involved in an accident. Was it politically linked or involved?
Come up with your question again. How can you attach somebody's accident with politics?
Because that is how the rumors have it, that it was politically involved. Ndio asionekane kotini.
Okay, that one, count me out. I know nothing about that. And for me, I thought it was, according to Marwa, I thought it was just a normal accident.
What is his condition right now? Maybe
I understand it's getting well, it's getting better. It's getting better. If it wasn't that I was sick, maybe I would have already gone to Nyamira to see him, but it's getting better.
But what is the solution?
After the solution
to everything that is happening?
Dispute resolution mechanism to be embraced. Dispute resolution mechanism, whereby it allows self-dispute resolution. Self, that means they decide, they give us their solution. We also give our solution. The 12, the 22 give their solution. Once they give the solutions, we give solutions. We find a balance in the middle with a person who is not biased in any way. With the person, not arbitration, dispute resolution, whereby we are the ones to give the solutions. If you come to tell us our solutions, it will not work. We give you a solution, they give their solutions, we balance them together, see what can work, what can't work, and move forward. If in 2017 Kenya was in the 20s, there's a time when we say that the country is larger than individuals. That is where people should get to. Personally, I don't like these disputes. I don't like them.
Is there another impeachment motion coming? Now
they are saying so. Let them continue saying so. Let them continue saying so. But for me, there was Mwananchi. Do you want such kind of leaders who are always planning impeachment? For their own sakes, for their own personal interest.
There is one leader here that we're not talking about, the senator. Is he aware of everything that is going on and so far contribution?
Is he the one who was bringing into the Senate that the nominees are men in Nyamira and the nominees are not supposed to be there? As if he doesn't understand why the nominees are the number they are.
So he's among those supporting the impeachment of the governor?
He's not supporting the impeachment of the governor neither, or whether he's supporting, I don't like rumors. I have not sat with him one-on-one. Nimuulize, are you supporting this impeachment or not? Had I had that a chance, I would give you a definite answer. Yes.
Wow. Ibiro bya bere bikunyara kuminyoka kigima mwancho murigererio KCTV chinsesa temerongene cyabutokire igori mambia rero totakero gukora chinsesa toneri twachaka tonyorire. Do you believe that the current disputes are a sign of deeper governance issues in the county?
I said that the disputes we have are 70% external, more than internal. 30% is what the MCAs are contributing, but 70% are external. External not from national level, but from our leaders who are within Nyamira, and those who are eyeing the seat of 2027.
And what are the let me call it, the risks
of the disputes?
Yeah.
Mwananchi is suffering at the end of the day. From, if these people were seated and working together, the power of unity. United we stand, divided we fall. Yeah. So those are the risks.
You're signing out remark on the whatever that is happening in Nyamira. If you were...
As our leaders who were in Colchester the other day and pleaded apology, and the Justice Okwani told them, do not let me down. Let them honor with actions. We always say that if you are really sorry for your actions, then behave. A genuine apology is followed with the actions. Let their actions match the apology. That is my humble plea. Let them not aggravate. By the virtue they were not jailed is because the Justice Okwani did not want to aggravate the disputes at the assembly. And that was wisdom, and that is the leadership of a woman. Now, me as a woman also, my plea is let their actions, wacha kudanganya wananchi. Sometimes lies go faster than the truths. So wacha kudanganya wananchi. Even the ruling you've seen what they are writing on kwa mitandao, they are trying to make wananchi understand a different thing. Let their actions follow their apology. Wakubali, the speaker is not the deputy speaker. The speaker is Enoch Okero. That is what they were apologizing for. That we are not going to dishonor again the court orders of staying the speaker. That is what they were sorry for. So let them be sorry, allow the speaker go to the assembly, and we continue working as a team. Unity is important. Our people need our services, not our fights. Our fights are just but bringing Nyamira County on the map on the wrong note.
Kuna ile nani Okero alikuwa amesema sijui assembly inaenda sijui inaitwa Sindate or something.
Sindai means that we closed the assembly. Actually right now their proceedings in the assembly are illegitimate and not binding. When the legitimate speaker gave a Sindai closure of the assembly, that is the legitimate position of the assembly.
So sahi hakufai kuwa na assembly Nyamira for 90 days.
Yeah. Sindai, it doesn't give period. It's only that if you go beyond a certain period, then we should go back to re-elections. That's what it means. If you go to
re-election of what? MCAs
the whole county MCAs.
Mpaka governor?
No, for the
MCAs
speaker,
peke yake.
the MCAs, yes. That's what it means.
So what are your expectations after the ruling? The clerk Nyamira, speaker Kero, majority
No, the legitimate
and
team should go and work in the office. You know, we have the illegitimate team working with anarchy. And we have the legitimate team that follows the law. Now that is what people don't want to tell the nation.
Munanichanganya.
Let me tell you, when you know you're following the law, why do you cry, why do you make a lot of noise? When you know you're not following the law, they're the ones who are making a lot of noise and trying to make they are doing the wrong thing repeatedly and they want to make it look like it is right. However, many times they will do it repeatedly, wanting to make it look right. It will not change. The speaker is Enoch Okero. The legitimate speaker, the legitimate board is still our board of Enana, of Joy Lombongi, of Edna, of Mogaru. Those are the legitimate board members. And whatever our speaker does is what is legitimate.
Well,
unless we do not want to honor the rule of law. And there is nobody who is above the rule of law. If they are above the rule of law because they are the majority, then Kenya is going to anarchy. And it is going to set an example for the rest of the counties to do the same. And I don't think whether Justice Okwanya, that is what he allowed. Yesterday when he allowed them to go and not let her down is to bring order. And where there is no rule, there is no order, the laws are not honored, then there is disorder. And that is what we are facing in Nyamira. Laws are not being honored, they are doing things illegitimately, and that is why we have disorder in Nyamira.
Mwana wake gima wancho muligererio KCTV aso kunyara gusanga na inchi goruto abeto kunyara guchaka 12 chama bigo kibonega chire chinsa isato chitaike 45 chia buto kirigoro ngake ngambia muno mwensi aso kunyara gusanga na into emambi ya dero ini dedi nimelipa kwa wale ambao walikuwa nasema oh Joan is biased ameleta watu ambao wako side opposition ya county ameleta sijui nini. You've heard some of the questions that you had this morning and I would like to request you Mama Gokoro give me the honor to have both parties. Sasa je tunauliza huyu anajibu the same question, huyu anajibu na huyu anajibu, because we would like now to have you both on the table, the other side and this team, so that tunangana what is not happening, because hata sasa nimebaki nikiwa na wale nilikuwa nimechanganyikiwa, nikiwa na wewe nimechanganyikiwa bado. I would like now both of you, ukisema Duko Nyari ndo Clark nao waseme ukisema Nyamira ndo Clark nao waseme Nyari ndo Clark, ukisema Okero ndo speaker au waseme Nyabaro ni speaker.
Sasa mbona waliomba msamaha jana kotini? Walikuwa naomba msamaha gani? Makosa gani walikuwa nao? Watu wame makosa wako nao wenye walikuwa naombea msamaha. Ndio tujue ukweli uko wapi. Nimekwambia
they requested
uongo mwingi na kujaribu kufanya mwananchi asielewe haya maneno na uongo wao.
Abuga na request kusena suggest ase robot regatwara ngo kwananga munyare kuirana asebikaro bye bunge.
Abugo yo tete meshara go to nere hetare nene wendo saransa ne chero officer amatabyo mabekero mashara iga mabekero iga akotoura. How do you easy with this remorsefulness?
Thank you so much. We're going to have this again next time. Nisenge nchibiro pia beri kujara kumnyoka kingima. Director Clenox nere tuwabatira nere kura sinsemendi yesterday. Nyesao yo tuwara litukurigia. Asante sana so kujara gocha. Akike liborera Nyamira. Please come on guys.